Founded over 30 years ago, Gillespie Group is a full-service residential and commercial real estate firm based in Lansing, Michigan. With an eye to the future, Gillespie Group is fueled by strategic development with a passion to find creative solutions for real estate development needs. Known for the ability to visualize new energetic spaces that breathe life into spaces and community, Gillespie continues to use its resources to initiate the transformation within the communities it works in. Learn more at gillespie-group.com. Welcome to the Conversations from Mackinac series of Michigan Reimagined with Chris Buck, live from the Grand Hotel at the 2026 Policy Conference. This special session is sponsored generously by Triterra and the Gillespie Group. I am now here with Sam Dougherty. He's the Michigan State Representative for Helmets to Hard Hats, a new nonprofit. I think it's new, but we're going to unpack that here right now. So thanks and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about Helmets to Hard Hats. In a nutshell, what's the mission and who are you targeting?
So the mission is to help veterans, returning soldiers, to transition into good jobs great jobs and opportunities within the building trades across the state. And by the way, we've been around about 20 years.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay, sorry, your brand is not familiar to me, so
Well,
but I haven't been in the military. Yeah, I'm not any good at the trades, and I've never been in the military, so shame on me. But that's a great mission.
Well, thank you so much. We were created 20 years ago nationally, but here in Michigan it is kind of a new thing because with a grant that happened about 3 years ago, we're able to focus our efforts right here in Michigan.
Got it.
And and it's really made a change within Michigan to helping veterans transition into these jobs, increasing veterans going into the building trades in Michigan by about 30% over the last 3 years. So
that's fantastic. So, I mean, clearly the trades need more workforce participants.
Absolutely.
And so how do you find these veterans and start the conversation, or how do they find you? How does that conversation begin?
Okay, it starts with our website, helmetstohardhats.org. Our representatives across the country, they're on bases across the country, word of mouth, advertisement, so on. They create a profile, and when they do that and they put their zip code in of the returning state they're going to, they will get contact information from me. I'll reach out to them, or they reach out to me first. We start having that conversation about a little career coaching, which way do you want to go? What are you looking at? What was your MOS? What was your job in the military?
Right.
How does that transition into one of these building trades? Because in many cases, there's an open entry for the veteran to actually go through and get direct interview within many of these trades that are out there. And I'm referring to like electricians, the iron workers, the carpenters, the pipe fitters, and laborers and bricklayers, just 18 different trades across the state.
And it's everything we need. I mean, we all know that we have a pent-up demand for these types of skilled labor people. So that's fantastic. So you've been in your role for how long?
3 years.
Got it. And how do you measure results? I mean, do you keep track of the people that you've engaged with and how many of them actually, is it access to training so that they can then get the job, or do you hold the hand all the way to the job itself, or how long do you stay engaged with a candidate?
Well, the building trades created us to begin with, so we're a separate nonprofit, but that's where we get the doorway. It's kind of like you need to know somebody to get into the trades. Well, if you're a veteran, it's Helmets to Hard Hats. How does that happen? We had the conversation. The website itself is kind of matches them up with the careers and the postings that they are putting up for their training centers. And if, for example, if they ran heavy equipment and they were in an MOS that did that within the military, then they can, line up with the operating engineers who's doing a lot of the highway work around the state, and tons of work, as we see around, along with many other trades, depending on what they're doing. That process, where some of them have direct to where I will actually refer them, or they will apply, then I confirm their Helmets to Hard Hats. It gives them a way in. So beyond being just a veteran, being a Helmets to Hard Hats veteran makes a big difference within the building trades here in the state.
Headquartered in Lansing, Triterra has been creating healthier communities throughout Michigan since 2008. Their expertise in brownfield development, environmental consulting, and natural resource management needs provides practical solutions for developers, property owners, and governmental entities. For responsive service tailored to your best interests, call the Triterra team at 517-702-0470 or visit triterra.us. So how are you funded? You said you were founded by the trades, but how does your cash flow?
Here in Michigan, it's actually a grant here in Michigan that we've been working through. And you said, how do we measure success? Well, they're obviously watching the success on this.
Right.
And that is that transition. Once they're in a registered apprenticeship within the state, that's when it counts, and that's what our goal is. Because when a veteran or when somebody transitions out of the military, they come from a place where they've been in charge of potentially hundreds of people, if not thousands, if they were in command.
Right.
Even at the lower levels, squads and so on, and millions of dollars of equipment and these responsibilities. Plus, they signed the line, so they put their life on the line. And there's a tremendous amount of responsibility, self-accountability, pride, in the work they do. And they come ready to go. Those soft skills and all of that already built into your veteran when he comes back.
Right.
And
they tend to show up. They tend to do the job. I mean, there's a work ethic of a veteran that is to be envied.
Absolutely.
As an employer, you probably are looking for that. So that's a phenomenal thing. So what else would the listeners really want to know? Our listeners are the workforce. I mean, we're more probably, the listeners right now are probably the employers that would be interested in receiving. Is there any way that they can proactively engage you to say, hey, I run this type of an operation in this particular town and I'm dying for talent. How do I kind of tip the scales and have you send people to me in particular? How would that work?
Yeah, so on our website, there's a spot where a place where they can actually apply to become part of as an employer.
Okay.
With the process, and it'll match up. And once they get approved to come in, we want to make sure everything's valid. It's worse than anything to give false hope, at the end for a veteran to come in. They're dealing with enough already trying to transition. So we screen, who's coming in, and then after that point, then they would get access to the site and the veterans there. But also they'd be able to post their postings there also.
Okay.
We work real close with other organizations across the state, veteran service organizations, Michigan Works, just many of them that have touches with veterans that are out there. Helmets to Hard Hats is kind of like the resource, a referral.
Got it.
To help get in with these contractors across the state, which we're talking thousands of contractors across the state that work with our organization.
Got it. And it's helmetstohardhats.org.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I appreciate you sharing the story. I hope it resonates and you get a real flywheel effect of success in the coming years. And you're covering the entire state of Michigan.
Yes, I am.
So you put the miles on a little bit?
I do about 30,000 miles a year, maybe up to 41. So,
I imagine you probably receive a lot of emails.
Many.
Communications.
Yeah, about 120 veterans a month, between 100 and 120 new ones are signing on with the website. And that's why I need to rely on partners that are out there. So, I am the only rep here in the state of Michigan from Helmets to Hard Hats, but through that partnership, we call it a force multiplier.
Right.
Through the Michigan Works Network, through Leo and their veterans reps that are at Michigan Works.
Nice.
Through different festivals and so on that are going on, veteran resource fairs, stand-downs, just across the board what's going on within the veteran world, and getting the word out there that, hey, we're here to help.
Right on.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for the work that you do. So, helmetstohardhats.org.
Yes, sir.
Sam Dougherty, this Michigan State representative of the organization. Reach out if you've got a need, and I'm really grateful to have had you on board. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. So that is the end of the episode from Michigan Reimagined, Conversations from Mackinac. Thanks again to Tritera and the Gillespie Group for allowing me to be up here to share these wonderful stories. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thank you.